This game blatantly stole not just another game's assets, but their entire game. And while some NFT games have the decency to pretend they're not just blatant cash grabs, others, like the game we're going to take a look at today, are unapologetically horrible. And this one even made me think that I downloaded a virus. What's up, y'all? This is Beat the Best, and welcome back to the series where I take a look at the cesspool that is crypto gaming to see if there are any games that could actually be fun and to make fun of all the horrible games out there. Today, we're taking a look at Ape Squad, which not only has ridiculous, absurd, and blatantly false marketing, but more importantly is a complete copy of a non-NFT game called Black Squad. We'll get into all of that in just a second though, because first, I want to show you the incredible description that caught my eye and made it impossible for me not to play this game. Viper Circle, a force that seeks to overthrow the existing world order. The Allies are trying to stop this. We're going to a swamp that is hidden behind us, and we're in contact with the apes. Humans and apes form a new coalition. Viper Circle and fierce and endless battles continue. Personal firearms based on various battlefields and historical experiences, an FPS that adds fun to tactical play by being armed with equipment. Now, I don't know what the opposite of being armed with equipment would be, but with a description like that, this game is shaping up to be Game of the Year. They also say this game can satisfy user needs because it's a pay-to-earn game, and I've been looking for a game to satisfy my needs for a very long time, so this is right up my alley. My favorite part of the description, though, is right here. The guns are easy to adapt to and designed to hit even if you shoot roughly, which means that regardless of rank, you die before you do anything. This got me really excited to play this one-of-a-kind game where you die before doing anything, but when I clicked play, it said maintenance. But of course, I wasn't going to give up so easily on the Game of the Year, and I was able to find it on the Epic Games Store, so I downloaded it. Now, while it was downloading, I checked out the game's store page, and it was a masterclass in marketing malpractice. The video looked like it was generated with AI. Just look at all this morphing and all of this temporal incoherence. And I think they literally took screenshots from Black Squad and had AI generate videos from those images as the starting point. It's almost impressive how blatantly horrible this game is, and I haven't even started it. So let's jump in and actually test it out. Immediately, I'm hit with deafening levels of sound, but it also looks like the game is actually relatively well polished for a crypto game. They have in-depth settings, multiple game modes, and they even have a tutorial. Now, it's a little goofy, the headshot sound is horrifying, and it's nothing impressive, but it's also not horrible. It plays and it feels like a typical free-to-play game from the mid-2010s like Soldier Front 2 or Alliance of Alien Arms, which isn't bad by itself. Well, it kind of is, considering it's not the mid-2010s right now, but who's counting? But while I was extremely excited to play this game, I quickly realized I can't. There are no live matches, no channels, and the last clan inside of this game was created almost a year ago. It's a literal ghost town. And even back when the game was active, there were only a total of 89 players inside of these clans, so I'm not even sure how many people ever really played this game. But that's okay because I don't mind playing a bit against bots to at least test out how the game feels. But when I load in with bots, I realize they don't actually do anything. I can place them and test things out like in CSGO training mode, but they can't do anything. Soon enough though, I discover an AI defense mission hidden away inside of the PvE event section. It looks like an FPS tower defense, which could be okay, so I open it up, load it, and the game freezes. Nothing works, so I have to Control-Alt-Delete to close down the game. But I try again, and it freezes again. So I try one last time on a different map, and the same thing happens. So not only are there no players inside of this game, I can't even play with bots. This game is literally unplayable. Unless, of course, I want to replay the tutorial over and over again, but I don't know why I'd ever want to do that. After that failure, I tried to play the AI mode that used to work, but even that started crashing and giving me very suspicious errors that made me think I had a virus, so I gave up. Now, you might be wondering, what does this game actually have to do with apes and NFTs or those waifu images they have all over the Epic Games Store page? And the answer is pretty much nothing. It's literally just a regular shooter with NFTs as microtransactions, but they created some random AI-generated ape and waifu art to, well, honestly, I have no idea why they did such a weird bait and switch. Like, they could have literally just said, hey, this game is basically Black Squad. Here's the gameplay. Oh, by the way, we'll also have NFTs, and that probably would have worked better than this horrible website and this random AI-generated crap. But speaking of Black Squad, let's see how similar Black Squad really is to Ape Squad. It starts out pretty blatant because even their launchers are the same. Now, Black Squad's menu is a little different, but as you can see, it has all of the same features as Ape Squad. I get into the tutorial and surprise, surprise, it's the exact same tutorial. Finally, I go in to compare the maps and I find that all of the maps are the same. Ape Squad is an exact duplicate of Black Squad, just with NFTs and 0 players actually playing the game. Now, I wanted to try out that AI defense mode that didn't work for me in Ape Squad, so I launched it and it actually worked. But honestly, I almost wish that it didn't. It was the most basic, the most boring, the most uninspired tower defense game I've ever played in my entire life. So I quit that game and tried out a different game mode. This time it was Destruction, and it wasn't half bad. It has that strong mid-2010s free-to-play game vibes like Alliance of Alien Arms or Soldier Front 2, and if this was 2013, my younger self would go crazy about this game. I can see this appealing to someone who has played this game for years, but it's no longer 2013. And while Black Squad might still have players because of nostalgia and people's tendency to stick with what they know, there's absolutely 0 reason for Ape Squad to exist. Speaking of, Black Squad has a ridiculous amount of microtransactions, so I wouldn't be surprised if Black Squad Studio gave Ape Squad's team full permission and access to port their game to the blockchain. It's obvious that both teams only care about money at this point, and I found another hint that that might actually be what happened. On Ape Squad's site, they have a game called Special Force Rush, which is also a blatant copy of a different game, Special Force, also known as Soldier Front. Now, this is a game that was released in 2004 and had a graphical overhaul in 2009, so it's already better looking than most modern crypto games. Ape Squad isn't even trying to hide that this game is 2 decades old. On their site, they say the game was developed by Dragonfly Studios, who is the original developer. So I assume they either have some sort of agreement or they know the studio isn't going to go after them. Either way, it doesn't matter if they had permission to rip off these games or not. It doesn't change the fact that all of these now NFT games are terrible and have 0 reason to exist, other than being a predatory ploy to get as much money as possible from those who don't know any better. Special Force Rush is targeted at the Philippines as the first play-to-earn FPS game. They even have a YouTube channel with LAN parties, trailers, and a music video. Either way, if you know what happened with Axie Infinity, then you know how this story is going to end. And it looks like they're building up a collection of these old games and porting them to the blockchain to prey on greedy crypto fools and, more importantly, those who are just looking for a chance to break out of poverty. I could go deeper into how the whole company behind the game is extremely sus and how this whole thing might just be a weird money laundering operation, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole just yet. Either way, Ape Squad gets a rating of out of 10. Anyway, there's already a whole bunch of other NFT games I'm planning to take a look at, but let me know in the comments if there's a specific game I should focus on first.